So do have a strap. We are going to need it first thing. So you can unfurl it. We're going to start laying down just for a moment or two. So you can have your strap off to the side. We'll do our little leg stretch. We haven't done that in a while. But starting out, a few options. So as you lay down, you're going to squeeze the knees into your chest, and you're going to just assess how your body is feeling today. So if you're a little on the tighter side, you are simply going to place your feet down on the mat, mat's distance apart, and then you're going to allow your knees to touch in the center. You might choose to come into classic Shavasana. There's tenderness in your lower back. This might not feel so good. For those of us that are naturally just a little more open, or if you've been up and moving around today, you might choose to bring the soles of your feet together. So you're getting a little groin stretch, a little hip stretch. You could modify this by sliding some blocks underneath your knees and thighs. And you can do different heights. That just takes some of the edge off if it's feeling good, but it's just a little bit too intense. So find the spot that you want to be in here. Allow your eyelids to close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And then open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then just do that a couple more times at your pace. Each exhale, you're letting Monday go so far, the to-do list, all of the stuff that you're worried about getting done. Just know that it's going to be there at the end of an hour, and maybe you'll feel a little more able to tackle it all. What am I trying to say? So it's kind of counterintuitive, but when we can give ourselves these breaks, especially the brain, when we can move the body, kind of makes the rest of the stuff feel a little easier sometimes, gives us some creativity. So you are eventually moving into your Ujjayi breath here, inhaling through your nose and then also exhaling through your nose. So you start to create that soft rush of sound at the back of your throat. And soak up that sound. It's almost like it's drowning everything else out. Start to pay attention to how the breath feels. It's this very three-dimensional thing. So the front of the body, sides of the body, the back of the body, you're breathing down into your mat as well. Everything is expanding on the inhale, and then everything contracts in on the exhale. And it's subtle, but it's there. So bring your attention to that physicality in your body. Good, and then take a nice deep inhale. Again, open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And then if you're in this Supta Baddha Konasana, so legs out to the side, you can just use your hands to help draw the knees in. If your legs are extended straight, go ahead and bend them in. Let's all give a little squeeze here, either holding the thighs or the shins, maybe a little rock and roll side to side. And then place both feet on the mat. Keep pressing into that left foot, but bend your right knee into your chest, and then just start to make some little hip circles here. It can be little, small, can be a little bit bigger if that feels good. Switch directions. And then you're going to find your strap. You're going to take it over the sole of your foot. If you don't have a strap, you can simply hold behind your thigh. You could use a tie, a belt, a towel, a sweatshirt. It's a lot of ways to modify, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. Maybe a little newer to yoga, don't have all of the things. They're not necessary. All right, so one strap in each hand. You move towards bringing this right leg to straight. And we want to have the heel landing over the sit bone approximately. Again, bend in the knee is great. Hamstrings tight, lower back tight. A little bend in the knee is going to be very helpful. It's going to make this a little more accessible. So if you fall into the little, you have the open hamstrings camp, open lower back, maybe you start to press forward through that left heel. So you bring that leg to straight. And you might start to feel a little more sensation. See if you can find the action of drawing that right hip forward. You can even take your thumb into that hip crease and press a little bit. You might start to feel a little more intensity. Make sure that both feet are flexed. It's as though you're standing on both of them, even though they're doing different things, facing different directions. They're actually doing the same thing, just facing different directions. Okay, so we're going to take both straps into our right hand. Left hand can come onto your left thigh, whether that knee is bent or straight. You're just reminding that leg to stay active. You're especially reminding that hip plate underneath you to stay in place. Deep inhale here. And then actually let's start to externally rotate. So you're turning your toes to face out to the right, and then start to extend that leg off to the side. It might not go very far. You might move an inch. That counts, particularly if you're feeling a stretch. If you're a little more flexible, I want you to think about squeezing your outer hips in towards each other, and that might help to give you a little more containment and hence a little more sensation and stretch. And in the meantime, you check in with your breath. So that inhale through the nose, that exhale through the nose. We're going to inhale up to center here. Keep the back side of your body pressing down. We're going to bring our right toe towards our left shoulder head. So just going diagonal and back. Ooh, I'm feeling that. This is a huge glute stretch, hamstring stretch. Feel it behind the knee. You might get it in the calf. This is like one of those ones that can catch your breath. And it's, you know, you're not making a big movement at all, but it's super intense. This is great to do if you run a lot. Just sit a lot, get tight in this trunk area of the body. All right, inhale back to center. So just quick and easy on this side today. Release the strap, bend both knees. And then left knee comes in. And again, you start to make those hip circles, big, small. Hit both directions. Just pay attention to that left hip. Notice how it's feeling in your body. Notice how it feels different than the right side. And then we find our strap again. Take it over the sole of that foot. So one strap in each hand. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate this side without the strap in case you don't have one. So again, you could just simply be holding behind that thigh. If this is really intense, again, just bend the knee. And it's okay if you pull the thigh in a little closer if you need to do that. All right. So you're flexing this left foot. It's like you're going to stand on the ceiling. You can stay here like this. If you want to press forward through that right foot, you can try it out, see what it feels like. So that just starts to activate things a little more. You might feel a little more sensation. And you're pressing to the center of your right heel. Those toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. It's like you're standing on that foot, and your breath is smooth and steady here. We're going to take our right hand on top of our right thigh, whether that leg is extended or straight. Okay, so keeping the foot active, anchoring down into this right sit bone. So I'm going to just hold the outer edge of this left leg with my left hand. We're going to start to turn the toes out to face left, and then extend off to the side any amount. And you can't see this, but I'm basically resting a little bit on this right elbow, which can be nice if you don't have a strap and you're using that variation. You also might have that knee bent and you could be holding the shin, and that might feel good. So a few more breaths here in this externally rotated leg extension. All right, inhale. Come back to center, and then it's going to be that tiny movement. We're going to bring our left big toe towards our right shoulder head. So you can just kind of pull in here. Again, you could do this with that left knee bent. And otherwise, you're just taking both straps. It really could be in either hand on this side. Couple more breaths. All right, we're going to inhale back to center, hug the knees in, And then let's start to roll forward and back on your spine, assuming that that feels okay on your back today. If that is too intense, you're simply going to roll to one side or the other. And after a few rolls, you're going to come on up to your tabletop position. And then let's just move right away into some cat-cow. So landing with shoulders over wrists. If you're a little tighter in the shoulders, you could take your arms a little wider than shoulders distance, turn your fingers out. Knees are underneath your hips, pressing down into your shins as you inhale, arch into your lumbar, chest comes forward through the gates of your shoulders, nice back bend. And then exhale, really press the mat away. Round in, chin towards chest, continuing like this. Eyes still might be closed here. And just paying attention to your body. How are things feeling? Sometimes it's hard to assess what's going on or to even know. We practice it, we get better at it. And as we get better at it, we can start to make adjustments to our poses. Maybe we start to make adjustments off the mat so we notice when things are going on. Good, couple more rounds here. Right. Next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Let's get into the shoulders a little bit. If you're tighter, you're going to want to grab a block potentially. So from our tabletop position here, we're going to thread this left arm behind that right wrist. And then you're going to lower onto that shoulder and ear. If you're a little tighter, maybe you're going to give yourself a little support. So see where you need to be. These left ribs are wrapping to the right. And if you're getting an intense stretch here through the side of the neck, that left shoulder, you stay like this. If you want to open up a little more, start to reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then spin that palm to face behind you, bend the elbow, grab a piece of shirt. Some of us might get our right fingertips to the inside of the left thigh. You're basically looking for a little leverage so that you can draw that right shoulder back. So nice little stretch there. Keep the breath smooth and steady. I remember the very first time I did this pose in a yoga class, I thought that I was going to die. It was that intense. After many years of practicing yoga, it has gotten a lot easier. So if you're in that camp, know that you keep showing up. You start to feel things differently. All right. If you are in the wrap version of this, go ahead and extend your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, unwind, just cleanse the palate with a couple rounds of cat-cow. Let that go. We'll try the second side. So from your neutral spine position, root down into that left hand, thread that right arm underneath. Inevitably, one side is always tighter than the other. So again, use whatever proppage you need. And then feel those right ribs spin up towards the ceiling. Even here before we've extended that left arm, feel that shoulder blade release down your back. Stay like this or reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. You could stay here like this. That might feel nice. Or you find that external rotation in the upper arm. Bend the elbow, reach the ground, grab a piece of shirt, maybe the inside of that right thigh. If you have monkey arms like me. And take a few really good breaths here. That inhale through your nose. And that exhale through your nose. All right, if you are in your wrap, go ahead and extend left fingertips up, deep inhale. And exhale, unwind to get a couple rounds of your cat-cow here. And then let's come back to our neutral spine. Walk your hands forward about an inch. You're giving yourself a little more space. Curl your toes under. Pull the belly in, gaze forward. Just hover your knees up off the mat about an inch. Firm the arms a lot. So it's like you're squeezing the forearms in towards each other. Your inner arm is wrapping towards your outer arm. Breath smooth and steady. And then keep that bend in your knees. Start to stretch your sit bones up towards the ceiling. And we make our way into downward facing dog. I just got all kinds of cracks and clicks. Maybe you did too. I sound like an old person or like the Tin Man. All right. So when you pull back to your downward facing dog, find any movement that feels good to you. Pedal back and forth between your feet. And shift ankles side to side. I always love to flip onto the top of one foot, then the other. And when you're super flexy, you can do both at the same time. That's not happening for me today. All right. So eventually you're just making your way back to your downward facing dog, finding a place of stillness. There might be a substantial bend in your knees. Your feet are hips distance apart. You're gazing between them. So the back of your neck is lengthening and releasing. The tendency here is to hold the neck and look forward. So I do that a little bit when I'm teaching because I'm trying to teach to you, but you don't need to do that. Let your neck lengthen. All right, so from here, we're going to start to walk our feet forward to meet our hands. And then you're just going to land with your feet about hips distance apart, second and third toe pointing forward. Going to bring your hands to your shins or your thighs as you inhale, chest lengthens, forward gaze comes forward. So you're making this little L shape with your body. As you exhale, fold in. Feel like that, inhaling, lengthening forward. This is a standing Cobra pose, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, deep forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, half forward fold, shoulder blades release down your back, they squeeze in. Exhale, we fold back in. And then inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. And then let's go ahead and grab the strap again. If you don't have one, again, you can use a sweatshirt or you can just pretend. We're going to get into the shoulders a little bit here. So little shoulder humbling work. So you're going to hold the strap. It's definitely going to be wider than shoulders distance apart, potentially a lot wider. Make sure that you're standing nice and tall. As you inhale, you're going to reach the strap up. I'm going to sneak back here so you can see. And then as you exhale, this is the tricky part. You want to reach back even, but if you're really tight in the pectorals, you're going to have to go super wide on the strap. All right, inhale up. Exhale. Hinge forward, and we're going to just continue like this. It's a little vinyasa, flowing with the breath. Oh, big stretch in the upper body. It should get a little easier as you continue to move here. Let's do a few more. Just standing nice and tall, tailbone releases down. Okay, so the next time you're up overhead, just stay there. So really stretch out. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, it's like a little side bend, not even a side bend, but you're just releasing that right arm down, left arm stretches up and you're pulling, but then you're going to start to reach that right arm back. Again, keep shoulder blades releasing down. And just keep your gaze forward. So just a great way to get into the shoulders here. This is something that you could do at your desk, like a little pause during the day when you need a little break from the work you're doing. All right, let's inhale back up to center. And then exhale, pull the strap apart, but release that left arm down, right arm up. And then maybe take that left arm back any amount. Keep shoulder blades squeezing in towards each other. It's that Cobra pose feeling. And then check in, are you breathing? So static little pose, but it's intense, a lot going on in the shoulders and neck. We can hold the breath sometimes. And arms are really active here. You are feeling this, it's like you're gonna rip the strap in half. Right, inhale back up. Let's exhale, release back down, and let's go half the distance. So just hold pull the strap apart. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. So you're just gazing in front of you. Oh, one more deep inhale. And then exhale, let's just release the arms back. You can lose the strap. And then you might want to kind of give the fingers a little flick, a little shake out, whatever you need to do. You can get the whole body involved here. We're going to start to flow a little bit. So coming to your nice mountain pose, Tadasana. As you inhale, arms stretch out and up. Ooh, that should feel really good after opening up those shoulders. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, release back down into your Uttanasana. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. And as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. We've got 2 more of those. I'm not going to cue you. You can just follow along. If you know these well, close your eyes and enjoy how it feels to start to connect your movement with your breath. It's like you're a one-man yoga band. There's no rush. When you're done with your second half sun salute, you're just pausing in your mountain pose, Tadasana, maybe just gazing at your fingertips, or your eyes might still be closed. And we're going to start to add on, building a little more heat in the body. As you inhale, arms are reach out and up. And as you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep looking forward, bend your knees a lot, plant your palms, take your right foot back, then your left foot. We are in our plank pose. So your hips are in line with your shoulders. You're reaching back through your heels so the legs are really active. Gaze an inch or 2 in front of your fingertips. Breath is smooth and steady. We've got 2 more here. Okay, so shift forward on your toes. Drop the knees so they're way behind the hips. Bend the elbows an inch, 2, no more than elbows in line with shoulders. You're still gazing forward. Take an inhale here, modified Chaturanga. Exhale onto your belly. Let's reach our arms by our side. Anchor down into your feet. Roll a little bit to the outer edges. As you inhale, keep pressing into your pubic bone, your hip bones, your feet, head, chest, extend forward and up. You can reach your arms up off the mat any amount. So Shavasana, belly back bend, super great for building strength in these back muscles. This is an important piece of a strong core. We sometimes overemphasize the front of the body. So these are so good. All right, we're going to exhale, release down. Bend your elbows, bring your wrists underneath your elbows. Squeeze the elbows in towards the sides of your waist. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen forward, low cobra. Exhale, release down. Inhale, low cobra. So option to stay here for a couple more breaths. If you're ready to move into a deeper back bend, press to the tops of your feet, press into your hands. My shins, my knees, my thighs are lifting up off the mat. So if you're kind of hanging here, that puts a lot of pressure in the lower back. You come back to your low cobra. You'll get to up dog one day. And it doesn't matter, honestly, if you ever get there. All right, so from here, press to tabletop on your exhale. If you're in your upward facing dog, you can roll over your toes without touching the knees down. And then we all meet here. We take a couple of breaths. Maybe for this one, let's nod our head yes. No, just make sure that we're releasing any tension in the back of the neck. Sometimes that's a really hard thing to do. All right. And then find that place of stillness, a couple of breaths. Press the mat away with your hands. Melt your heels back any amount, even if they never get there. And then just gaze forward between your hands, little bend in your knees. End of your exhale, step right foot forward, then left, or you can hop through, walk through. As you inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. All right, flowing through this time. Inhale, arms reach. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep looking forward, bend knees, plant palms, left foot back, then right. Take an inhale here in your plank pose. Exhale, shift forward on toes, come to knees. Lower halfway, pause. Exhale the rest of the breath out onto your belly. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, you pull back downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Make any little adjustments that you need to in your pose and then find your place of stillness. All right. Little bend in your knees. Come to your tippy toes, look where you're going. End of your exhale, step left and right. Hop through, walk, run. However you want to get to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Starting to feel a little heat, always a good thing. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. One more. Inhaling, arms reach. Exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest lengthens forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step back, right then left. Take an inhale, plank. Legs really active. You can lower your knees, or this time just bend elbows. And again, pause at halfway or come all the way down. Inhale into your low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Hopefully this is feeling like the most open downward facing dog, the easiest, the strongest downward facing dog yet so far today. All right. Get a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes, peek where you're going. Hop, step right then left, walk forward. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Let's stay here. So arms reach. Bring your right fingertips to your left wrist. Deep inhale. As you exhale, let's just take a side bend to the right. Few breaths here. Squeeze the outer hips in. You're rolling these right ribs up towards the ceiling, maybe gazing up underneath this left arm. Shoulder blades are still releasing down your back. Inhale up to center. And then side bend to the left. So left fingertips grab that right wrist. Feel all of this length to the right side. Trying to press pretty evenly into your feet. It's a little harder when we're in this variation. All right, we inhale, come on up to center. Exhale, release the arms down by your side. So we're gonna come into our Malasana. We haven't done this in a while. So little yogi squat. If you know that your Achilles tendon is really tight, or even if you're tighter in the hips and the groin, you might wanna have a blanket to put your heels up on. So I will demo with that today. So you want your legs to go wider than hips distance. And I have to turn my toes out a little bit. So you're welcome to do that. And you can be pretty wide here. We're gonna bring our palms together at our heart, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you start to release down. Palms come together at your heart, and then arms come to the inner edge of the leg, and then you can squeeze the legs in. You might even have a couple of blankets stacked up underneath your ankles. It really does make this pose a little more pleasant. Okay, so your choice here. You stay here like this for several breaths. If you'd like to come into a twisted version of this, go ahead and plant your left hand down and then start to spin that right arm up. So feel that openness across your heart and chest. Left ribs are rolling up towards the ceiling. One more variation here. So you can spin your right palm to face behind you. This is very similar to what we did in that shoulder stretch from our tabletop position. Reach around and again, grab a piece of shirt behind you, or maybe you can get your fingertips to the inside of that left thigh. So little half wrap here. And then you might even start to lean your head back a little bit, gaze up, think Cobra pose in the upper body. If you're in that wrap, go ahead and release that right arm down. Exhale, unwind, and then we take that second side. So rooting down into your right palm, and then start to spin to the left, maybe extending your left arm up so your shoulder blades are stacking on top of each other. Getting lots of length here. You can stay like this if you want to go a little deeper still. Spin the palm to face behind you, bend the elbow so you can press into the back with your hand. You're just leaning that left shoulder head back. It's a nice deep shoulder stretch. You might be able to grab the inside of your right thigh, just depending upon flexibility, bone length. So many things factor in. So it's really important to remember that poses look different for everybody. Got a couple more breaths here. Okay, if you are wrapped up, go ahead and inhale, reach up. Exhale, unwind. The moment we've been waiting for. Start to straighten the legs. And then just heel toe your feet. So again, they're about hips distance apart unless you like to practice with the inner edges of the feet together. And just fold in, maybe pedal back and forth between your feet. All right. And then let's inhale, bring our hands to our shins, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Good. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. All right. So we're going to step to the top of the mat if you're not there already. If you do have a block, have that handy so you can have that the upper right-hand corner of your mat. From our Tadasana, let's go ahead and inhale this time. Knees bent, arms reach up. Uttanasana, chair pose. Sink in nice and low. Don't be shy. And then as you exhale, hinge forward, fold in Uttanasana. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep looking forward, bend your knees, plant your palms, right foot back, then left foot. Shift forward on toes, lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, you pull back, downward facing dog. Where we're going to inhale, lift our right leg up. Keep your hips even. Exhale, step that right foot through. So let's stay on these left toes. Keep that back leg really strong. Inhale, rise up. Crescent pose. All right. So let's inhale, press that front leg to straight. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhaling, pressing legs to straight. Good. Exhale, bend both knees. Start to heel toe right foot to the left twice. And then open up that back leg. So we're heel to arch. Extend your arms out. Virabhadrasana 2. Couple of breaths. You're pressing to the inner edge of that right foot. Sealing into the back edge of your left foot. Gaze soft and gentle out over those right fingertips. All right, so spin your right palm to face up towards the ceiling. Legs stay exactly the same as you inhale. Find that reverse warrior. So that side bending, lateral stretch. Release that right shoulder blade down your back. Maybe you're gazing up underneath the arm. Maybe you're sinking in a little bit deeper. As you do that, feel the outer edges of the feet squeeze into the midline. We inhale back up to center. All right, as you exhale, think triangle pose in the upper body. Reach, reach, reach. So forearm to thigh, or this is where the block can be really nice. So block behind your foot. Extended side angle pose. Press this right knee into this upper right arm. If you have your forearm on that thigh, you can kind of drag that thigh back. Roll these right ribs up a little more. Seal into the back edge of that left foot. As you do that, spin left palm to face forward. Reach that arm up and over. And then a few times here. Inhale, press that front leg to straight-ish. Exhale, bend in. Inhale, press to straight-ish. Good. Exhale, bend in. One more. Inhale. Straighten. Exhale, sink in here. One more deep inhale, open up a little more. As you exhale, you unwind, spin onto your left toes, plant your palms. Options. You simply step to your downward facing dog. If you want a little more heat, you step to your plank pose, take your Chaturanga vinyasa, whatever that looks like. And then we all meet back in our downward facing dog. And we take that little sequence to the second side. So keeping hips nice and even, we start neutral. As you inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through between your hands. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. Strong legs carry you up, crescent pose. Both hips are facing forward at this stage of the game. You're gonna press to the inner edge of the left foot as you inhale. Straighten that leg, draw that hip back. Exhale, both knees bend nice and deep. Inhale, legs press to straight. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, keep this back knee bent. Heel toe, left foot to the right twice. Open up that back leg. So we've completely modified our stance. We are heel to arch, hip opening pose here. You're pressing that left knee to face behind you. And then make sure you're not leaning either direction in your torso. It's facing straight towards the long edge of your mat. And then you can just bring your gaze out over your left fingertips. Squeeze the outer edges of the feet in. Shoulder blades squeeze in, they release towards your tailbone releases towards the floor. There's always so much going on in these poses, and we can start to feel different things depending upon how long we've been practicing as we start to assimilate things in our bodies. Hence, I think that yoga is very interesting, even though we do the same poses over and over again. Okay, left palm flips up, legs stay exactly the same. We find that side stretch as we come into our reverse warrior. Both shoulders are out of the ears. They love to creep up there. Feeling this length through the left side. It's a little bit of a twist through the right side. Breath smooth and steady. Feeling the heat in your body, enjoy that. All right, as we inhale, we come back to our Virabhadrasana 2. Legs stay like this. Now we find that hinge, that lengthening. So again, forearm to that left thigh, and then you can kind of press back, or fingertips on block can be really nice. Feel that contact. Left knee presses to that inner left arm. And as you're doing that, you're sealing into the back edge of your right foot. Maybe that helps you to lengthen through the left side, so this underside of the body. Extend there and then find a little twist. Okay, let's reach that right arm up overhead. Keep twisting, keep your heart spinning open. Inhale, press to the inner edge of that left foot. Bring that leg to straight. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, extended triangle pose. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Good, take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, you unwind. And again, your option to step to plank, take your Chaturanga vinyasa, however you're modifying that, or you just pull back to downward facing dog. So this little push-up back bend sequence, always optional. It's just a way to build heat. Some days we want that, some days we don't. From your downward facing dog, take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. All right. As you inhale, find a little bend in your knees. Come to your tippy toes. And of your exhale, hop through, step, walk, run. Inhale, chest lengthens. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhaling, knees bend, arms will reach up, Uttanasana, chair pose. So hips are facing forward. Good. So knees can be pressing in towards each other. Your legs might be hip distance apart, but find that feeling of legs being really active in our thighs, spiraling down. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Press vigorously here. Sink a little deeper. All right. As you exhale, twist to the right, and then maybe hinge forward, hook that left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And then lean the upper body back, right shoulder back. So option here for a few of us to take the wrap. Stretch your right fingertips up, spin the palm to face behind you, reach around, grab a piece of shirt. Maybe you can get your fingertips to the inside. Just kind of lazy Susan myself here, to the left thigh. So you're drawing that right shoulder head back. Good. If you have the wrap, go ahead and just find the twist. So palms press, deep inhale. Exhale, unwind, give the legs a little break. Let the back of the neck release. Maybe pedal back and forth between your feet. Okay. Second side. So as you inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, Uttanasana, fierce pose, chair pose. Hands come to heart center. Don't be shy. I can go a little deeper. Deep inhale. Exhale. Twist the upper body to the left. Hinge forward. Maybe hook that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. And then press palms towards heart center. That's going to help you to leverage the opening in your upper body a little more. It's going to help you to find that Cobra pose feeling. Stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, reach those left fingertips up. Spin the palm to face behind you. Reach around, grab what you can. You're looking for some leverage. Lean that left shoulder head back. But as you're doing that, notice if your right hip is drawn forward a lot. Kind of slide it back as well. Maybe lean your head back a little bit. Think a little Cobra pose in the upper body. If you are wrapped, inhale, reach that left arm up. Exhale, left palm to right palm. Spin open a little more. As you exhale, you unwind. And again, nod head, yes, no. Pedal the feet back and forth. Whatever you need here. And then with a little bend in your knees, nice and easy, start to roll up to standing. When you get there, roll the shoulders back a few times. Okay, so we've been working on a little shoulder opening today, a little hip opening. So we're gonna combine this together. So find your strap again, have it handy. We're gonna take this in stages. And you just remember that you are gonna listen to your body, you're gonna pause along the way. So we're not all gonna go to the final place, and that's absolutely okay. So let's have the strap just on the floor, kind of in front of you. And let's take our legs a little wider than hip distance apart. So tailbone is releasing down, sternum is stretching up. Hands come to your hips, elbows squeeze in. As you exhale, start to hinge forward, and then just bring your fingertips to the floor. Find a nice deep bend in your knees. Okay, we're gonna take, have the strap off to the left. We're gonna take our left hand, you can be on your fingertips or you can press into the palm. So it's gonna just be in front of you a little bit, all right? And then start to spin open here. Reach the right arm up. So for a breath or two, maybe you straighten the legs if that feels good. And then if you want to do that half wrap in the upper body, spin the palm to face behind you, grab a piece of shirt, maybe reach around, get the inside of that left thigh. So this could feel really good. So again, all of these places you just stay if one of them is feeling good. Let's bend the knees a lot here. So if you're feeling good, we're going to do the same thing with the lower arm that we just did with the upper arm. So you're going to spin, you're going to internally rotate, and you're going to reach around this left leg. And this might be where you grab your strap. So you can release what you've got, and then you can either hold the strap with both hands. Some of us might be able to grab fingertips, clasp together. So we're kind of in a little prep pose here. So deep twist. And this is all the further we're going to go today. So take a couple more breaths here if you would like. This is our bird of paradise prep. All right, so wherever you're at, go ahead and just unwind, make your way out. So you can just let your head hang forward, maybe pedal back and forth between your feet. And we're going to take that to the second side. So bring your hands to your hips, elbows squeeze in. Inhale, lift up. All right. So find that tailbone releases down, all of that length. Keep this length in the upper of the body as you exhale, hinge forward again. We're going to press down into that right hand. All right. So let's bend the knees here. Start to spin our chest to the left. You can stay here with left hand on your hip. This might be all the further you go. Maybe you reach your left fingertips up. For a couple of breaths, perhaps you start to straighten your legs any amount. All right, and then let's bend the knees. So if you want to externally rotate that top arm, and then reach around, grab a piece of shirt, maybe take that half wrap. So this is another place you could stay. You're leaning that left shoulder, head back. And you're breathing smooth and steady. If you want to play with that full wrap, maybe the better idea here is to put that strap in your left hand to start. So we're going to internally rotate this right arm. You're going to reach it underneath that right thigh. And then you can hold on to a piece of strap. I'm going to keep turning around here. So you're leaning shoulder heads back. This is the feeling that we have in that extended side pose, side angle pose in our upper body. Good. A couple more breaths wherever you're at. You can be gazing down, forward. You might be looking towards that left shoulder. Deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we unwind and we just pedal back and forth between our feet. Hard part is over. Hallelujah. This hour is going fast. Maybe not for you, for me. Okay, so find a bend in your knees. Start to roll on up. And we're going to come onto our backs here. We're going to just find a nice little supported bridge pose to release all of that really challenging work. So grab a block, or a blanket or two, firm cushion from the couch. Lay down, so that same setup that we had at the beginning of class. Arms by your side. As you inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up. You're gonna grab your block, you're gonna slide it underneath your sacrum. The sacrum is this triangle at the bottom of your tailbone. What tends to happen is that we get the block too high into the lumbar, the lower back. So you can see my buns are melting down towards the earth. Tons of pressure on my lower back. Doesn't feel good. So I move it closer towards my heels. And you're going to find it. You're going to find this sweet spot where it feels supported and easy to be here. And then maybe grab the outer edges of your mat and then snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. And then you can release. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then just like let that serve as this reminder that we're switching gears here, moving into these final moments of practice. So we're going to try to find that sense of stillness and ease of checking in again. Okay, so if you're happy as a clown here, you're going to stay like this. If you'd like to get a little hip flexor, quadricep stretch, you're going to start to press forward through your right heel. So you bring that leg to straight. Important to keep this leg really active. And you should start to feel something on the front of that leg. If it feels too intense, simply bend the knee a little bit or just come back to your bridge pose. Got a few breaths here on this side. Okay, so start to rebend that left or right knee rather, if that leg was extended. And then do the same on the left side. So leg is really active. You press forward through that left heel. Those toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, finding lots of length. And then potentially getting a little hip flexor stretch here, a little quadricep stretch. For some of us, this feels really good. For some of us, it's so intense. It's like, this isn't happening today. Bridge pose is an okay place to be. Couple more breaths. Okay, so start to bring that left leg back in. Just even out here. And then let's press into our feet, lift up off of your block, just smooth it out of the way. And then take your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out in a T shape, nice and slow. Just windshield wiper your legs. So take your time. There's no rush. We're just doing this to help bring the spine back to neutral after that back bending. All right, come back to center when you feel even on both sides. Heel toe your feet back together. You can just release your arms by your side. So let's take the right knee into the chest, and we're going to come into half happy baby here. So you're going to grab the outer edge of the foot or the thigh, little external rotation opening up. This is like our warrior two leg here. So that kind of warrior two leg upside down. So using the strength of your arm, you can gently press down a little bit, pull that foot down. And then again, if you'd like to introduce a little front of the leg stretch here, you might start to extend that right leg to straight. So just like we did in that bridge pose. And you could even think of this is very similar to that bird of paradise prep that we did, but laying down. All right, if your left leg is extended, bend that knee. Good, just release that right foot. And then we take half happy baby to the other side. So again, grabbing the outer edge of your left foot for a little tighter. We're just gonna hold on to that left thigh, using the strength of the arm, pull that leg towards the earth. Breath smooth and steady, stretching out. If you want to, press forward through that right leg. Keep it really active and strong. It's like you're standing on it, even though we're laying down here. Back side of the body presses evenly. Good, bend your right knee back in if you extended that leg. Release that left leg. And then do anything here that you feel like you might need to, unless you're ready to come into your Shavasana, which might be here, again, just knees knocking in towards each other. If you want to extend legs to straight, more of a classic shape, you're welcome to do that. And then just give yourself permission to pause here for a moment or two before you make your way back into your day. So just taking rest. And take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And wiggle fingers, toes, stretch the arms out overhead. Just bringing some gentle movement back to your body. And staying soft and quiet, roll to one side or the other, just find the fetal position. Eventually using your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. And then just noticing here how you feel differently than when you started. Sending yourself, sending your body love and gratitude for showing up, for working hard, for making the effort. Finally, just promise yourself that you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day ahead. Bring your palms together at your heart, bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today. Thank you.